Hello folks, and welcome back to Anstalt Gaming and the second episode of my franchise build for my park Viking Vendetta. So last time round all I did is set up some very basic stuff, a bunch of flat rides and 2 coasters, bunch of shops. This is all disposable stuff so far. It was just to start generating some money and some research points. Now as you can see from last episode, I've left this running for about 10 minutes and I've generated a hefty pool of cash and a decent stack of research points. This episode I'm going to get stuck into terraforming. Now my vague plan with this map is to have it all Viking themed, and when I think of Vikings, beyond the axes and the cool hairstyles and all that sort of stuff, I tend to think of the rugged Scandinavian mountains, nice big cliff faces, some rivers with lots of waterfalls in it, and nice big wooden villages and forts and stuff like that. So what I'm planning to do with the terraforming is to have some big cliffs kind of in a V shape and have most of my park at the bottom of the cliffs. Might build on the top of the cliffs, it's going to depend on how full things start to feel and how long my motivation lasts, let's be honest. But this episode, like I said, we're going to get stuck into terraforming. So I'm going to build those big cliffs, and I'm going to build those rivers and build a few waterfalls. Now I've not done a huge amount of terraforming before in this game. The single player is not too great for terraforming. A lot of the maps already have pretty extensively built maps that don't really lend themselves to terraforming, and quite a few of the levels simply have terraforming turned off. So we're going to see what happens on this. Hopefully come up with something that looks quite cool. I'll get rid of all of these trees as well. There we go. Nice blank map for us to start with. Probably want our cliffs to be just a little bit bigger than that. We can always reduce the size later if we need to. That's probably about the size I want. So I'm just going to roughly sketch out the shape that I want my cliffs to be in. Let's see what this hardness thing changes. Oh, that's a bit quicker, isn't it? I think I want my cliffs to come out a little bit more. Okay, that's not a bad rough starting shape. I think I might want to make them a little bit wider, to be fair. Brilliant. Right. Now we just got to fill in all of this back area. Try and bring it up to this height. Okay, so basics of the cliff face is in. Filled in all the back area. It's a fairly substantial sized cliff face. As you can see, it's not particularly well formed as of yet. This is just the basics of getting the main shape in place. Now a lot of the detail work will probably come later as I start to put in extra rides and other sorts of things nearby. guests are obviously going to need a way to get from the lower area to the top of the cliffs. So the various pathways and cable cars and that sort of thing will also involve editing this, but for now it's a good first shape. So we'll start with some extra detail work. Now what I want to do is have a river of some sort coming right in the middle here and falling down the cliffs, and then at the base of the cliffs I plan on having quite a large sort of swimming pool area. So I'd like sort of a terraced kind of feel to the swimming pools. So the top terrace will have the waterfall falling into it, and then there'll be a few lower terraces with sort of extra mini waterfalls and stuff, all nice and rocky sort of themed, but generally I want all of my swimming pools in one area, and I want it at the base of the cliff, sort of surrounded by it. Let's first off start with getting the river in place. Now I haven't done rivers in this before, so I'm not entirely sure how it works. I'm guessing, much like Planet Zoo, we'll probably just have to create a little indentation and then fill it with water from start to finish. So first of all we'll map out kind of where I plan on having the river going. Now I do want a couple of sort of little, well, at least one extra waterfall at this end, sort of halfway through the river here. Just coming over a few boulders, just to make it look a bit more sort of like rapids, that sort of thing. And then I'll have the water, the river, the stream appear out of some rocks at the back, I think. Right, let's see what it looks like with some water. Right, now we want to push this cliff face back as close to the water as possible. Take the intensity down a little bit, make sure we don't screw things up. We want to make it look as if the waterfall has eroded the cliffs. That's starting to come into shape now, isn't it? That's looking okay. Right, there we go. We've got the basics of our river. Obviously it looks pretty rubbish at the moment, but at least it's there. What we'll do next is start building up the banks a little bit, make it look a bit more natural. Get some rocks placed along it and smooth out the edges a little bit. We'll probably want to build the banks up a little bit more so it doesn't look like the whole river is elevated above the natural flatness of the rest of the plain. But yeah, once we get some water effects in there, once we start getting some rocks in there, it will start to look a lot better. Right, that's starting to look more like a proper river valley now. Can't really see it too well because it's getting on into evening time, but fairly happy with some of the terraforming up there. Looks more like a valley that's been cut out by the water and weathered and hardened and stuff. So I'll need to get some manual sort of boulders in there next, and the water features for both the source of the river, the first little waterfall, and then the big waterfall. I think I shall wait until it's daytime till I do that though, because I won't be able to see much with this sort of level of light. In the meantime though, in the background you can see my money's continued to go up, which is nice. Most importantly, my research has gone up. So I'll quickly spend some of that research points. So, transport. I wanted the steamboat. That's one of the main things I wanted. Let's make our way down to that. I am intrigued by the steam train. Steam trains are cool. But I don't think it will really fit with my Viking theme, so we'll leave that for now. Flumes, I'm going to be doing my water park fairly soon, so let's get those unlocked. Power, yeah, may as well go for some solar panels. Try and be a bit environmentally conscious if we can. Don't really know what the advantage of the water towers and the water wells are, but let's get them anyway. More flat rides is always good, so let's get them. It'll be a while before I get really stuck into roller coasters, I think. And that's it for now. All of them research points spent. Let's sit and wait for daytime. And there we have it, the end of day 1. Lots of profit, happy with that, $500,000, that's all good going. Guests are happy, park reputation's good, park rating, well, we've only just started really, haven't we? See our river in daylight. That's not too bad. These little dips on the side, probably don't want them, they look a bit odd. So let's pull them up, low intensity so we don't go too far. Same back here as well, they look a bit odd. Let's just bring these bits of cliffs just a little bit closer. We want this river to look like a valley, really, eroded by the water. Excellent. Right, now let's start getting some rocks in there, fleshing it out a little bit. We only want the temperate rocks because that's what we're building. Right, I think that's starting to look fairly good in terms of rocks along that sort of river valley. Just need a few little rocks to line the tops of the waterfalls. That's the only thing I'm thinking at the moment, really. I reckon that's good. So, time to add some actual water effects then. See if we can actually create a waterfall. Now, I haven't actually tried this before, I don't know whether it'll actually work. But one of the levels in the single player mode did have some sort of waterfalls, so there should be something in there. Here we go. Here are our waterfall bits. Yeah, it's starting to look like what we want from a distance. We need to do some terrain painting. Get rid of all that grass. On the actual waterfall bit itself, wouldn't be any grass growing there. Same for this bit. There we go, we have our first waterfall. Still need some work on this side, I think. It'd be nice if I could get the water level up higher. It just doesn't seem to want to go. That's okay, I think if I put a few more rocks on this side, make it look more rapidy. pretty happy with that. Time for this side. Right, I think that's looking pretty good. It is looking a little bit stripy. So to get around that, just add more. There we go. Nice big waterfall. Right, final thing I'm going to do on this episode then is just start to tidy up the sides of this cliff face. I just want to make these cliffs look a little bit less flat, a little bit less uniform. Have some little spurs coming out of them maybe, a bit like mountain ridges. When I go over with the it's called the roughen tool. Just make it a little bit more edgy again. Especially on those spurs we just put in. And there we go, there's our main bit of terraforming done. The cliffs are in, the plateau's in. Got a bit of a river on top. The plateau at the top is a bit boring at the moment, so we'll need to do something more with that later, but the river's looking pretty good. Nice big waterfall. Could possibly do with a few more bits to pretty up that river, but we'll come back to that later, I think. Once we add some more foliage, trees and some bushes and stuff alongside of the river, that'll fill it in as well. It'd be nice if the water was a bit rougher, to be honest. But let's just double check. What can we do? We can put rough water in. Is that right? It's marginally better, doesn't it? A bit more see-through, which is nice. Clearer glacial runoff. Right, and as we've left that running, we're now up to 720,000 in dollars. That's very nice. And another 30,000 on the research, which is brilliant. Let's keep going with some more coasters from the research side of things. It's starting to take shape now. So that's it for the terraforming episode. Mostly just those cliffs and that one river. We will have more rivers coming down at the bottom area. I'm going to try and get that boat transport ride in down here somewhere. I shall wait until I've start filling in the area down here. Otherwise I shall get clogged up and I'll put the river in the wrong place and it won't work out. So next episode I shall be starting to tackle the swimming pool area. Lots of flume rides, lots of terraced pools. Should be good fun. Hope to catch you next time. Thanks for watching.